In Fairy, there are no fish sticks, no ketchup, no television. That is the first sentence in the first chapter of the book I would like to share about today. Assalamu alaikum and hello, my name is NURATIQAH SAFIYA binti AZLAN from SMK SAUJANA IMPIAN, and today I am humbly honored to be sharing with you my favorite book entitled The Cruel Prince by Holly Black. This book is a young adult enemies to lovers political fantasy book consisting of 370 pages and 30 chapters. Now, there are a lot of political conflicts in this book, both internal and external, and there are countless plot twists in this book, which for me personally makes it a very interesting and outstanding read. Going straight on into the book, it first starts with a man coming to Jude's house and murdering both of her parents right in front of her and her sisters. Now, Jude has two sisters, her identical twin sister, Turin, and Vivian, her oldest sister. After that, they find out that the man is actually Vivian's real father, and from there, they are forced to follow him into the shifting isles of Elfhame, also known as the Land of Fairy. Now, Elfhame is a land full of fairies and elves, and just to show you the beauty of them, if you check the back of the book, Jude actually says they're beautiful as blades forged in some divine fire, and that's how amazingly beautiful they are. Now, humans in Elfhame are called mortals, just like how in, for example, Harry Potter, humans are called muggles, and in Elfhame, or in this book, humans are called mortals. Now, moving back towards the book, 10 years of living in Elfhame goes by, and they find out that the man, also known as Madoc, is the Grand General of Elfhame under the rule of the High King. And you do not want to mess with the Grand General of Fairyland. Simply whoever messes with the girls, mess with him. But even though Jude has that much protection, Jude still has to face several challenges and consequences despite being a mortal. For example, when Jude was only 9 years old, one of Madoc's guards actually bit off Jude's left ring finger because of how much he hated mortals. Other than that, Jude also gets bullied by 4 of her classmates, which include Avcardin and his 3 very loyal friends, Valerian, Nicasia, and Locke. They once kicked the dirt on her food and even once put a fairy fruit in her mouth, which basically puts all mortals out of their own control. Luckily, she got her antidote in time and did not go crazy. Moving forwards, Jude realizes that if she does truly want to survive in the fairy realm, she needs to be as cunning and deceitful as the Fae themselves. With this, she trains with Madoc for a tournament fighting Carden, and amazingly, she wins. There are so many other things that happens to Jude in the book in utterly good and terribly bad ways. As for example, she becomes a spy under Prince Dane and joins the Court of Shadows to help him become the High King after King Eldred passes away. She's also killed one of Prince Valakid's messengers, stabbed Valerian in the High Tower, been betrayed and even had a duel with one of her sisters, and even kissed her worst enemy. And to find who her worst enemy is, you will have to read the book. Without spoiling the ending, but with showing Jude's characteristics, you actually find that Jude is the bravest, strongest, and boldest girl you have ever seen at the end. And that's the best thing that I loved throughout this book. The writer wrote it so well because you could really see Jude's character development from the beginning to the end. And for me, it was so entirely satisfying to see her grow as a mortal in Elfhame. Especially that if you check in the first few chapters, before going to the tournament, her twin sister Turin actually said, "This isn't like you, Jude," as rephrasing to a girl who used to not be the kind who fights or who talks back to others. But in the end of the book, she is this stubborn, tough type of girl that you do not want to mess with. And as a person who is very shy when meeting people, and very nervous at times when joining competitions, this book definitely made part of me a lot more braver and a lot more confident. It also taught me to just go for it whenever thinking of anything. And it definitely made me a person of who I am today. With open hands, I would recommend this book to anyone ages 13 plus who loves fantasy or is even a fantasy beginner because of how simple but powerful Elfhame is. Usually when I read fantasy books, I can't understand the first 100 pages of the book because of how complex the magical elements are. But for this book, I could already understand the elements within the first 30 pages. With that, I would like to say thank you for watching my book review till the end and have an amazing day.
Oh hi! Didn't see you there. So, I'm gonna show you all a cool magic trick using this feather and my wand. Focus. The Guardian Leviosa. A much better place. Hi, my name is ANGELICA and I'm presenting my school SMK BTHL2. Today, I'll be doing a book review with all of you, and you probably already know the title, and it is Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone, which is the first book in the 7-part series of it. So here is the book. It's written by J.K. Rowling, and also I'm proud to call myself a brave Gryffindor. So this book is all about fantasy and it has 331 pages. So without further ado, this is the story about Harry Potter. Let's get straight right into it. So, on Harry's 11th birthday, a great beetle-eyed giant who is known as Hagrid burst into his house in the middle of the night and said to Harry, "You're a wizard, Harry." The question is, will you go with him? In Harry's case, yes. Hogwarts is perfect in every way possible. Who wouldn't want to raise up their broomstick and study magical subjects and also play Quidditch? And of course, there are a few minor problems that come with it, such as a pair of brothers trying to kill you by playing Quidditch, a vicious three-headed dog who is capable of biting your face off, and a dark art teacher who has an evil wizard face attached on the back of his head. Overall, Philosopher's Stone is an incredible book for every age, and you're gonna love it no matter how old you are. As the saying goes, never judge a book by its cover. So now, I'll be sharing y'all 5 things that we can learn from Harry Potter. Harry Potter has a great storyline, no doubt about it. But there's a lot more to this series than a young wizard and his friend fighting bad guys. Here are the 5 top life lessons that Harry Potter and his friend had taught us. Throughout the Harry Potter series, Voldemort has always been referred as he who should not be named. Voldemort served as a metaphor for those things in life we are too afraid to speak about. Number 2, friendship is important. But seriously though, Harry would have died in the first book if it wasn't for Hermione and Ron, who had helped him face life challenges. To Harry, friendship literally means life or death to him. And number 3, it's important to believe in yourself. Believing in yourself is key to success. Number 4, community is important. Let's be honest, Hogwarts would have fallen into the dark side if it wasn't for Dumbledore's army. Where would Harry or anyone in the magic world be without them? And last but not least, number 5, you can do things on your own. Harry might have had helps along the way, but in the last moments of final battle between good and evil, he had to fight the most powerful Dark Lord, Voldemort, all by himself, and he still stood there bravely and he came out strongly alive. Oh yeah, also I forgot to mention that this is Harry's scar. He got it by Voldemort. And I'll talk about that in depth in just a few minutes. Anyhow, I just love the lead characters in this book, the trio's characteristic. So, first coming up is Ron, a true and royal friend. Next up is Hermione, a smart and loyal friend. And not forgetting Harry, who gets all the love and friendship who has been denied to him for over all those years until he went to Hogwarts. Thinking about it,
2 hours later.
To be honest, Hagrid is my favorite character. You know why? Because he is a real pure
Jewel.
to Hogwarts. I also really love how the story unravels itself. The trio's journey of finding out who wants the Philosopher's Stone and each character using their own skills they're good at. The hype that had built about Lord Voldemort has completely paid off. Wrapping up this incredible review of this book has amazing characters, awesome plot, and unexpected reveals. However, the most important lesson in Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone is love and friendship triumph over anything, no matter how fear-inducing it may be. Whoa! Expectro Patronum!
Greetings everyone! Hello! My name's Nicole and I'm from SMK Peringboon. On this delightful day, I'm going to talk about my most favorite non-fiction book, which is entitled When I Was a Kid. Here it goes. Ta-da! This is the book, and this is basically book 1. Well, there are at least 5 series of this book, plus each of them contains at least 180 pages. Alright, let's talk about the writer of the story. So, this book was written by an author named Chiming Bowie. Bowie is a Malaysian artist and writer of a Chinese descent. Well, he is best known for his illustration on coffee cups, his daily webcomic, I Am Bowie, and of course his autobiographical graphic novel, When I Was a Kid. He was born in Singapore and grew up on a songbird farm in Malaysia. Soon, he went to the States to study fanfare, but later switched to computer animation. In 2007, Bowie began a daily webcomic about the experiences of his day. He currently posts 6 days a week on his Instagram account, of course. Bowie's book, When I Was a Kid, is meant to be a prequel to the block of his adult life. In May 2012, the book When I Was a Kid became a local non-fiction bestseller in Malaysia. Well, I mean, it's true, right? Since the book it's really interesting to read and it's actually really fun. Alright then, this is basically the introduction about the author. Now, let's not waste some time and start talking about this amazing book. And why do I like it? So, based on my perspective, I felt that this book is not only an ordinary storybook, but it's also a diary written by the author himself. This is because almost half of his book, yes, almost half of his book is dedicated to his mother and also his father. Every single chapter of this book tells us a story about the memories he has made with his family and friends. There are a few chapters I truly enjoy though. For example, the chapter entitled Failing Math. This chapter tells us about how Bowie is really bad in math, but he's really good in art though. But no one seems to appreciate his art. I mean, that was actually kind of relatable to me since I'm also good in art, more than math. There's also chapters like Carnaps, where it talks about how the author's mom cares about him more than his dad. And there's also another chapter where the author eats the corn while making ding noises pretending it was a typewriter. I mean, I do the same too when I was a kid. Have you ever did that before? Well, this book brings me back a lot of memories of me being a kid. This book also reminds me of the times where I spent with my beloved grandmother that has already gone to somewhere better. To sum this up, this story has taught me something. It taught me to treasure people who cherish me, who love me, and all. Most importantly, treasure our family as much as possible. You never know when they'll be gone, right? Let bygones be bygones. I would love to end this though, with a quote from Winnie the Pooh. We didn't realize we were making memories. We just knew we were having fun. And that's all from me. Thank you.